upset, much more so than you and I are. So we have to try and help him. We have to do everything we can to get him to adjust to the being blind. And it's not going to be easy for us, but we have to remember what I said to you in the beginning. We have to keep remembering that at least he's alive and he's with us. And we thank the good Lord for that. That he's here, that he can love us, and that we can love him. Kevin.
I don't get it. Why did this happen?
I wish I could explain that to you, honey. But I can't. There are some things in this world for which there are no explanations.
Some things in this world just stink, Mom.
They sure do.
Joey. Joey, where are you going?
To get my teddy bear for Daddy. When I'm afraid in the dark, Fitzpatrick always makes me feel better.
Oh, honey. That's so nice. You go get Fitzpatrick, okay?
Mom, I want to go to the hospital. I want to see Dad.
Well, sweetheart, I'm going there in just a few minutes. I'll check and see if it's okay. But you have to understand it's going to be very hard for Daddy.
I want to see him.
Okay. Then you will. I'll make the arrangements, and maybe Aunt Tina or Cord will drive you over later, okay?
I'm scared, Mom.
I know, baby. So am I.
The Wimples used to use wimpy bags.
For your information, we were trying to get this baby to sleep, and he was almost there until you came barreling in here, screaming like a maniac. Do you have any consideration for Al at all?
Is Gabrielle here? Or did she just unleash you to stand guard while she took off?
Gabrielle is in the kitchen unpacking dishes.
Well, that's great. Why don't you go get her while I pick up my son?
Wait a minute. I said we were trying to get him to go to sleep.
Yeah, well, you also said, and I might point out with great eloquence, that I already disturbed him. And while I'm waiting for him to calm down, I may as well pick him up and give him a little hug. Here, a little Seymour.
And this sounds like a very good time to come in before the two of you get into one of your famous fights.
Hello there, and congratulations. This is a lovely house, and as a housewarming gift, I brought you a little bunch of flowers, and if you look in yonder shopping bag, you will find something to put them in.
Oh.
What's wrong?
Oh, Max, this is exquisite.
Not bad taste for a cowboy, huh? Well, what do you think of your old man now? Pretty good, huh? What do you think about Seymour here? You think I deserve a kiss for that, too, huh?
I'd offer you some coffee, but I don't know where we put the coffee pot.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's all right. You probably don't intend on sticking around very long anyway, right?
Why are you on my case, and why don't you get off it?
Steve.
Fine, forget it. It's just me.
You know, Al might sleep a lot better, except his diaper's a little wet.
Why don't you give them to me?
Yeah. Oh, no, on second thought, why don't I change the diapers? I think I can do it almost as good as Steve, maybe.
Really? You've been practicing on some stranger's kid?
Come on. I will take Al right this minute while the two of you, sweetheart, two of you straighten this out. And when you do, I'd like an explanation as well.
You're furious with me. We've established that. Now, the question is why?
Gabrielle and Al haven't seen you in what? How long? And you come waltzing in here, cracking jokes and bearing gifts like the best daddy in the world.
The Buchanan family is a wreck, Clint is blind, and Tina was only cleared because Gabrielle was poisoned. Other than that, I had no reason for not being here.
All of that is more important than your son, right?
What is the problem here? You're not scoring enough points with Gabrielle hanging around pretending to be his daddy? Oh, Steve, I hit it with that one, didn't I?
Yeah, maybe you did, Max. But I'll tell you, underneath that all is disappointment. Disappointment that you're going to be just as irresponsible with your son as you are with the rest of your life.
Hold on! I'm not going to take that kind of rap. That is in the past. It has changed, doesn't it?
Did you lift a finger to help your son and his mother move in here? Did you buy one stick of furniture? I mean, the vase is very nice, Max, but a kitchen table might have been a little more useful.
Gabrielle didn't jump on my back when I came walking in here, now did she? Now, who are you to take this role, which I'm going to give you about 10 more seconds to finish playing?
Clint, it's Larry.
Larry, come in here. Let me take a look at you.
Well, you've had quite a morning, haven't you? It's only 10 o'clock.
What's that mean?
refused to use the electric razor. You drove Rafe and Delilah out of here. Delilah's in tears.
Ah, poor Delilah.
You enjoy taking it out on her?
Of course not. I didn't enjoy taking a hold of you last night either, Larry. But it's not something I'm sitting around planning. You know, I'm not planning these things. They just happen. You know, maybe we'd all be better off if you just hung a sign on my door that said no visitors allowed. You know, Vicky said more than once that sometimes I'm like a grouchy old bear. Maybe we just should pretend like I'm hibernating for the winter or something.
Except you've got more sensitivity and brains than a bear, so that's not going to work, is it?
Okay, fine. Let them come into my cave and just take their chances. I can't help being angry, Larry, and if you can't understand that, then...
Hey, I got it. Listen, tomorrow, you'll have counselors and therapists. They'll help you find a constructive outlet.
Oh, will you knock it off? You said you can't do anything about this. I'm saying I can't do anything about my anger, about the way I'm feeling.
Well, Dr. Moore has had consultations with the top neurologists, top ophthalmologists in Landview.
And?
They've looked at your x-rays.
And? Well, obviously, they all agreed with your brilliant diagnosis, or you'd come out and say something, wouldn't you?
About the best odds anyone can give you, Clint, is about 20% success rate.
20%? Against 80% of my dying?
Afraid so.
Why in the hell did you people bother to save me in the first place?
Because Kevin, Joey, Jessica, and I need you. That's why.
Think of silk and what comes to mind? Rich colors, expensive dry cleaning.
Don't you ever say again that your life is not worth living. Ever. Understand? Sorry, I did not mean to come in yelling.
Well, maybe I didn't mean what I said either. But I can't guarantee it. Larry here seems to think that I should deal with this blindness as if I had a splinter in my finger or a case of the flu or something.
Just said that giving in to your worst emotions isn't going to help him.
Oh, yes, and he also thinks that I've chosen to give in to my worst emotions.
Well, that's entirely possible, isn't it? But then, of course, I think you're allowed another day or two of self-pity.
Self-pity?
Mm-hmm.
Self-pity? Mm-hmm. This isn't self-pity, Vicky. It's anger, damn it. At the situation, as much for you and the kids as for me. You got to understand something. You're stuck with me like this.
Did it ever occur to you that perhaps we prefer being stuck with you like this than not having you at all?
I'm going to go on rounds.
Thank you.
Clint, I will see you later.
Yeah, see you, Larry. Why the hell does everybody keep saying that, huh? See you later. I'm sorry, I know you hate my temper. You've always hated my temper.
That's right. I have always hated your temper, and I still do. But I'm not going to let it drive me away.
All right, I'll try and control it while you're here, then.
Hi, darling.
All right.
I brought you some things. I brought you your slippers and your pajamas. And I brought you the tape recorder that the children gave you last Christmas. And I brought you some music tapes and also a blank tape in case you wish to dictate anything.
Like what?
Well, in case you get an idea for an editorial.
As a matter of fact, I do have an idea for an editorial. I'd like to come out against blindness. I'd like to just outlaw blindness. I don't even have to see your face to know the expression. You're disappointed.
No, honey, I'm not disappointed. I'm very sad, and I'm very sorry that you are being forced to cope with this. But I'm going to ask you to cut off this bitterness and this anger just for a few minutes and count your blessings.
Blessings?
Blessings. You are alive, Clint Buchanan. As far as I'm concerned, that's a blessing. And I really think that you're going to have to rise above this bitterness and this rage for the children's sake, because if they see you like this, it will destroy them.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute, Vicki. If you're thinking of bringing the kids into this hospital, you can just forget it. It's not going to happen. Now, I won't stand for that.
Gabrielle has a little trouble standing up to you. She doesn't expect anything. She's happy for any crumb you drop, but you can't expect her to take on all the responsibility for the baby. And you just play father when it's convenient for you.
I told you there were some extraordinary circumstances, but they have eased up now. I'm ready to give them more time as of today. Steve, I'm going to say this to you, and I don't know whether it will mean anything to you or not, but the reason I felt secure about Gabrielle and Al is because you were with them. Now, if you feel like you're being used or put upon, I'm sorry. Just let me know in the future, okay?
All right, I worry too much. You know that. But I'm going to keep worrying about Gabrielle and Al. I think it's about time that they had something that resembles a normal life.
Well, why don't you marry her and give it to him? That way I can come over here and criticize your playing stepfather. Not that you'll give me anything to complain about.
Max, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I jumped on you.
It made me feel guilty.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, I should have checked to see if the baby were trying to sleep or if they needed a kitchen table. All I can say is that I'm going to try to learn to be aware of that.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that coming from you. Maybe there's hope for you yet.
And, by the way, Tina's all mine.
Yeah, really?
Mm-hmm. You got it. Cord is out of her heart for good.
Well, that may be actually part of my problem, Max. See, I'm not totally convinced that Gabrielle has you out of hers.
Cordero's gone?
Yeah, he left about a half hour ago.
I didn't realize I was on the phone so long.
He's such a whiner, Elizabeth, you know?
With good reason. He sees through you, unlike my granddaughter.
And what's that crack supposed to mean?
It's not a crack. Last night I heard you muttering about Kate and her inability to realize that you are her real love.
Well, you don't miss a trick, do you, Liz? Well, so what? I still think it's true. And every time I think I might be wrong, Cord proves me right.
It's quite obvious that you and Cordero cannot live in this house at the same time. I appreciate your stepping in when you were needed, Patrick, but you're not needed here anymore.
What are you suggesting now, that you want me to leave?
Yes. The last time I heard, you were a guest in this house. If I want you to leave, you will. You forced me into it, Patrick. Everything would be fine if you were the real family friend you pretend to be, but you're not. Now, please, I can't bear these scenes any longer. I simply am not up to them.
You're making a big mistake by throwing me out, Elizabeth. A very big mistake. You remember that.
Okay, the kitchen is pretty much in order.
Oh, fantastic. You know, my contract says I get a break.
What a great idea.
Great.
You know, Steve, I couldn't have done all this without your help. Thanks.
It was my pleasure.
Are you sure? You seemed pretty angry with Max earlier on.
Yeah, I was, but it was just knee-jerk anger. Maybe a little jealousy.
You know, there's no need for that. No, there really isn't. I've finally come to accept Max as Max. And he's Tina's, and they're together now, and they're going to be happy. I know they were probably made for each other to be happy together, whereas you and I, we take life a little more seriously. Like raising children. That's more serious to us, too. Max is always going to come in with presents and flowers and sweep Al off his feet. And then one day he's just going to turn around and be too busy to show up.
I can't believe you're saying all this.
He's never going to change. And do we really want him to?
I don't know.
Meanwhile, we'll take care of Al.
We will?
Do I hide my feelings that much from you?
Gabrielle, you've never even said that you loved me.
You know I do.
Enough to marry me?
does that mean?
Just what I said. Will you marry me?
This is a proposal.
Yeah.
And you want an answer?
Yeah, I do.
You really caught me.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes? Oh, my God. Oh, you've made me the happiest man on earth. Oh.
I can't believe that you would even think of marching Kevin and Joey in here to see me like this.
Honey, why not? This is the way you are now. I'm sorry, but you are still the most marvelous man on this earth, even though you can't see.
Did you tell them that I can't see?
Yes, I told them. I saw no reason not to. Everyone else knows. And since there is no chance that you will regain your vision...
Damn it, Vicky, will you just... I wouldn't know how to act around them.
Oh, honey. You still love them? You still want what's best for them? None of that has changed.
Of course not, but I just... What did they say when you told them?
Kevin is very, very upset because he understands. And Joey sent you Fitzpatrick.
He what?
Joey sent you Fitzpatrick. His favorite bear. The one that he never, ever, ever, ever goes to sleep without. He told me to bring it to you. Because Fitzpatrick helps him when he's scared in the dark.
Oh, God.
I don't know, Tina. I think the boy should go to see Clint right now. I think he needs him.
I know that, and Vicky knows that, and just hopefully Clint will understand.
See, the things with little kids, their imaginations, they're so active right now. This whole thing is just so complicated.
I know, there's going to be a lot of questions when you're out there playing ball.
Yeah, I know. I hope I can handle some of them, too. I just wish I knew some more about blindness. I need to know it.
Yeah, we all do.
Listen, before I came over here, I was over at Rafe's office. He called me, and he said he needed to talk to me about something.
Not about the earrings.
Yeah.
Oh, Cord, I didn't want you to have to know about that.
Well, believe me, it was no picnic. Listen to it. Man, my mother trying to kill Vicky like that. But I guess it's good to know that the poison didn't hurt anyone other than her, so...
Cord.
Listen, you know that I never felt that you were guilty of killing my mother. It's just... See, I always hoped that maybe my mother didn't steal that poison from the lab, and maybe she didn't try to kill Vicky and make it look like it was you.
I know it's hard to believe. I mean, especially after your mother was such a good mother to you for all those years.
Yeah, she was, too. I just don't understand how a woman can become so twisted so fast. And you want to know what really scares me? Start wondering about, heredity and things like that. Wonder if I'm going to get anything like that.
Oh, don't be silly. You're always going to be just as wonderful as you are now. I hope you know I just meant that as a friendly compliment.
I do. Look, maybe the boys are ready by now. Maybe they're all dressed, ready to go out. Check them out now. See you later.
You know what? By the time you get there, it's going to be lunch. Would you like me to make some sandwiches for you?
Hey, there's an idea. Maybe we should do that, yeah.
Okay, I'll go do that. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to go with.
Here's the Fisher-Price Express train for little people.
Tina, wait a second. Maybe it's not really necessary for you to come along to the park with me and the boys.
Well, I know that, but, you know, Kim's out with Jessica and everything, and I hate being in this house all by myself. And besides, it'll give me something to do.
Yeah, but maybe, you know, me and the fellas need some time alone.
Oh, well, I could help answer some of their questions and things.
Yeah.
Oh, what's wrong?
Nothing. Nothing's wrong.
Well, you don't want me to go with, do you?
No, it's not that. Exactly. It's,
Well, then what?
I don't know.
Is it Kate?
Why would you say that?
Well, she wasn't exactly thrilled to see me yesterday, you know.
I don't think it's a real good idea for me to discuss Kate with you right now.
Cord, I'm with Max now, and you're with Kate. I mean, it's perfectly all right for us as friends to talk about her if you need to.
No, I don't need to talk, no.
Okay.
Tina, wait. Why don't you go upstairs, change your clothes, and come out to the park with me and the boys?
Cord, not if I'm not wanted. I really didn't realize that.
Well, you go upstairs, change your clothes, you're coming with the park, okay?
Cord, you're not making any sense.
Look, with everything that's happening with Clint and now finding out about my mother, do you ever see one of those dartboards that's got a face right there in the middle? Well, sometimes I feel that fate has got a dartboard like that with our family right smack dab in the middle, and old fate just never runs out of darts.
Look, the four of us will have a wonderful time playing ball. I'll hurry.
Good.
What are you thinking?
I'm thinking about how much I love you and how glad I am that I'm holding you instead of us arguing.
Wish I could tell you the storm was all over, but I know better.
That's all right. I know better, too. But it's not going to push me away. Every argument we have is going to end up just like this. Me holding you and you holding me.
I don't know, Vicky.
You don't know what?
You accuse me of not facing up to my blindness. But you're not accepting it either. I mean, you're going through all the right motions and you're saying all the right things.
Honey.
No, listen to me. This isn't self-pity talking now, and it's not anger or anything like that. It's just my head talking. It's just common horse sense, and common horse sense tells me that I'm going to be a burden. Now, a very lovable, charming, fantastic burden, but nevertheless a burden, you know? You're supposed to laugh there.
I can't laugh. I'm holding my breath. I don't know where you're going.
You're going to get worn down by all this. I mean, by my anger and my bad moods and my inability to handle some things, do little things for myself, no matter how much I learn.
I am not going to get worn down.
Of course you are. Honey, you're human. You're human, and it's completely understandable, you know. That doesn't make you a bad guy. But you could probably even get to the point where you'd, you know, secretly wish that I was in a home or that I just go...
All right, just stop it now.
Now who's yelling, Becky? You're yelling.
You're right, I'm yelling. And I'm not going to hold you anymore either. We said vows, Clint Buchanan. We said them more than once. And I nearly wrecked our marriage more than once. Did you give up? Did you get tired of me? No. You went through hell and back to keep us alive as a couple. You loved me so hard that we had no choice but to come out the other side on top.
That was different.
Oh, you think so? Do you think that my mental illness was that different from your physical disability? I don't. And I'm not being noble. I am telling you from the heart that I love you so much that it doesn't matter. And the children love you so much that it will not matter to them. In sickness and in health, mister. I meant those words when I said them. I mean them now. I will mean them forever.
I'm not the same fella that I was then. I'm not the same fella that you said those words to, you know.
Of course you are.
You're not being realistic.
And what are you being? You're being the worst pessimist I've ever seen. You have no faith in yourself. You have no faith in your family. You are breaking my heart, Clint. And I absolutely will not listen to you talking about me wanting to be rid of you.
Come here. Honey, I'm overwhelmed by this thing, this situation, and I guess I think that maybe if I don't keep yelling and screaming and hearing myself, that I can just vanish, you know, that I could just disappear.
Where have you been? I've been calling all over town trying to find you.
Listen, about last night, honey.
It was all my fault.
Like hell, it was. Come on, you came over to the hospital to help me out, and what did I do? I jumped all over your case.
Sweetheart, you were upset about Clinton. I should have understood. It's just that I saw Tina and I got jealous. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. Honey, come on. Yes, I was upset about Clint, but you didn't deserve that kind of treatment.
I'll tell you what. I'll forgive you if you forgive me.
Got yourself a deal.
Excuse me. I hate to interrupt this lovely little scene, but I just thought you might like to know, Cord. You're finally going to get what you want. I'm moving out.
Honey, are you ready? Sweetheart, the children are outside. Clint, I know you're nervous, but they're nervous too. That's why it's very important that they see you.
Not like this.
Honey, we discussed this. You agreed that they could come and see you.
I changed my mind, all right?
No, it is not all right. I will not let you do this, Clint. More important than anything, I will not let you punish our children. They need you now.
They need a father, Vicky. A whole father.
Well, that's just great, because that's what you are. I'm not going to let you do this, honey. I won't let you turn your back on everyone who loves you.
Patrick, why?
Honey, I can give you a couple of reasons.
Oh, don't worry, Cord. Your reasons have nothing to do with mine. You see, Katie, now that Jamie's back in prison, there's no reason for me to be here and watch over you and Elizabeth any longer.
Well, we've never thought of you as our watchdog. You and Grams have become great friends. So have we.
Well, maybe that's true, but let's be honest, all right? Now that Cord is living here, I'm just in the way.
That is not true. Tell him.
Honey, the man knows his own mind.
Yeah, that's right. And I also know yours and Elizabeth's, too.
Look, I know that it's a little uncomfortable, the three of us living under the same roof, but Grams is going to be shocked at you leaving.
If that's true, Katie, she has remarkable ability to conceal her feelings.
Did you two have a disagreement?
Look, I really don't want to talk about it right now, okay?
Look, she's really come to depend on you. I'm sure whatever it is, we can all sit down and discuss it.
Kate, listen. Your grandmother was very adamant. She would prefer it if I moved back into my own place. And I owe her too much now not to comply with it.
Well, I can't argue with that.
Well, I can.
Hey, look, I moved in here to help. And if my moving out is going to make things better for everyone, then I'm going to do it willingly, all right?
You know, honey, this is still your grandmother's house. Now, if Patrick and Elizabeth have reached some kind of a decision, then I think we ought to stick by it, too.
Well, I thought you'd understand, Cord. You take care, Katie. Okay? You too, Cord.
Patrick, wait a minute.
Wait a minute. Hold on. I'm just about to go out there and help him load his car.
How can you say that? What are you... You know what we're on the verge of, don't you?
Another argument.
Not today, okay?
All right.
No, we haven't had much time alone together lately.
You're telling me.
And when we do, we wind up talking about Tina or Patrick.
Well, I can think of better topics of conversation, can't you?
Well, that's the kind of conversation I like.
Oh, yeah?
What?
I would love to continue this conversation, but I need to get over to the Banner with Vicky and Clint over at the hospital. Someone's got to go mind the store.
I understand, and I'm sure Clint appreciates everything you're doing.
Yeah, well, I think Clint is a little wrapped up in his own world right now to worry about the Banner, but maybe with Vicky bringing the kids over to the hospital, maybe he'll realize how important it is for him to go on living.
Yeah.
Listen, I'll call you later.
Okay. Honey, we are not going to let anyone come between us. Not Tina, not Patrick, not anyone, not ever.
Oh, girl, when I hear you talk like that, I know it has just got to be true.
Dr. Warlock, I have been deeply disturbed by these dizzy spells, and if they signal a return of my recent illness...
I understand your concern, and I am too.
Oh, dear. Then the tests show something serious. Oh, please, don't keep me waiting. I'm anxious enough as it is.
Mrs. Sanders, I'll tell you what we found out, but frankly, I think it raises more questions than answers.
You found some sort of virus. Or is it my blood sugar?
No, it's not your blood sugar. It's a little more unusual than that. You see, the tests showed traces of a very rare chemical compound called TRA. It's a highly toxic substance.
TRA? I've never heard of it.
No, it's no wonder. It's not very often found in this part of the world. However, it may have been included as an ingredient in some medication.
But how can that be? You have my records. You know what my doctors have prescribed.
Unless, of course, you've taken some medication that we haven't ordered.
Oh, absolutely not. I always rely on my doctor's advice.
Well, then I'm at a loss as to how to explain the reason that this African extract got into your system.
African?
Mm-hmm. Yes, it's a form of vegetation found in Central Africa, which is a long way from here.
It may be nearer than you think.
I'm sorry?
Doctor, in your opinion, could this TRA have caused my previous illness?
Yes, it's possible.
And the dizzy spells, the weakness that I have been experiencing, that too could have been caused by this African drug?
I see no other explanation.
Thank you, Doctor. You've been very enlightening.
I have.
Maybe it's because I love them so much that I don't want them to see me like this, Vicky. Let them remember their father the way he used to be.
What are you talking about? You think because you can't see them, you're not going to be their father anymore? Don't you understand? They need you now more than ever, honey. They cannot say how frightened they are. All they can say is how worried they are about you.
They're kids. They deserve a childhood, a happy childhood.
Are you going to make them that much happier by shutting them out? Are you going to make them feel that much more secure by not allowing them to love you?
Can't you understand? Can't you understand that I'm trying to protect them?
Well, you can't protect them, honey. I'm sorry, you can't do it. Kevin and Joey have had to grow up a lot faster than most children. Now, we may not like it, but there is nothing that we can do about it. It's there. That's it. As a result, they are sensitive far beyond their years. And if you don't allow them in here to see you now, honey, they're going to think we're hiding something from them. They're going to think that your condition is a lot worse than it is.
God, that's the last thing I want.
Then let him in here. Let them see their father. All right, you can't see, but you still have your heart and your soul and your spirit.
What if I don't?
You do. I know you, honey. I know you pretty well. You're not a quitter.
All right, no matter what I think of myself, I can't let them think the worst. Bring them in.
I love you.
I love you more.
I know, because you're bigger than I am. Children, boys, Tina.
Well, guys, here's the guy you've been wanting to see.
Well, don't just stand there. Get over here and give your old man a hug.
Daddy. Missed you, Dad.
Oh, yeah. You have, huh? Well, you don't have a corner on that, you know, because I missed you pretty much myself.
What is it with these town kids? First they break up the party I throw for you, and now you're telling me they nearly destroyed a restaurant?
Mom, it wasn't their fault. Not entirely.
Okay. Well, all I know is that when Wade is in a room with Brent or one of your other college friends, he starts throwing punches.
Well, what really bothers me is what Wade and I said to each other afterwards.
Look, Marilyn, I'm really sorry that you and Wade had an argument, but doesn't that tell you something?
I don't know what you mean.
You don't? Look, I know you care about Wade, but you come from different worlds, and they just don't seem to go together.
Oh. Marilyn?
Hi, Wade.
Miss Sanders, I'd like a minute in private with your daughter.
Mary Lynn.
It's okay, Mom. I'll talk to you later, okay?
Okay.
So, are you mad because I asked your mother to give us some time alone?
No.
Yes, the fight at the Heavenly Hash.
Wade, you stepped in to defend me, and there's nothing wrong with that. And we both said a lot to each other that I wish we could take back.
I just hate the way we handle our differences. We always seem to end up in a fight.
Well, maybe we're making too much of this. The differences aren't so enormous.
We come from two very different places, Marilyn.
Well, that's always bothered you a lot more than it's bothered me.
Are you saying I'm a snob?
You said it, I didn't.
Well, maybe it's true. I just have a hard time handling the fact that you go to a college where all the guys are a lot smarter and richer than I am.
Guys like Brent may have more money, and they may have more education, but you're just as good as they are. Maybe even better.
Yeah?
Yeah. You want to make something of it?
As a matter of fact, I do.
The only part about our fights that I like.
Well, I want you to know that from now on, there's not going to be any more fighting. If you want to kiss, there's a lot easier way to get them.
And if I want to talk?
Well, we can do that, too. I just want you to know that I'm not going to handle our differences by throwing punches anymore.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. So why don't we start by you telling me where you came up with all the cash?
Cash?
Yes. Wade, you peeled off a wad this thick to give to Wanda to pay for the damages last night.
I told you, I inherited a lot of money from my uncle.
How much?
Enough. Just don't worry about it.
Well, I do worry, especially when you go through it so quickly.
Marilyn, I've got a lot more in my piggy bank, okay? Listen, I've got the gym all to myself today. You want to work out? Meet me later?
Okay. But I'd still like to know where you came up with the...
See you then.
Okay, and can I get you fellas a couple of menus?
No, thanks. Just coffee.
Okay.
And some privacy.
Oh, I can take a hint. Privacy's free, and the coffee's $1.50.
Dumb, Leonard. Yeah, Carucci remembers you. The whole idea is to blend in with the wallpaper.
We don't have time for niceties, Sid. In case you've forgotten, the guy buying the coffee wants results.
He wants Frank Montaigne's money. You'll have to be patient.
Great, Sid. You tell him that.
I will. Right after I tell him I got a lead on our friend Wade Coleman.
What kind of lead?
We know he worked for Frank, right? We also know he showed up at the nightclub right after Frank was zotched.
So?
So? Guess who just financed a fancy new apartment for his dear old mom?
That takes money.
When your average stagehand pulls down in a couple of weeks.
You're saying Coleman has Frank's stash?
I'm saying it's a possibility. That's why we're here. Coleman and his pals like to hang out here. Maybe if I play like a fly on the wall, I can find out just how much cash he's throwing around.
Good idea. And while you do that, I'll go over to the old garage where he used to work. Who knows? Maybe he bought himself a limo or something.
You do that. Oh, and Lenny. We find out Coleman's been holding out on us. You know what we have to do.
Yeah. Teach that boy a lesson.
So, you see, nothing's really changed. Well, I mean, I can't see as well as I used to. Matter of fact, I can't see at all, but, you know, when three fellas are as close to saddle pals as the three of us are, well, just how good a fellow can see doesn't really matter that much, you understand? Huh?
I think they understand. Daddy's going to have to make an adjustment. We're all going to make adjustments, too. Remember we talked about that at home?
Oh, you can still play with us, right, Dad?
Well, sure. I can't catch a football and throw it back like I used to, but there's more ways to have fun.
Yeah, that's what I told them, that you still know all those fun things the cowboys do.
Well, you got that right. I mean, you don't have to have eyes to saddle a horse or tie a bank robber's hitch or a bowline, huh? And you remember how I was always bragging about how I could rope a calf with my eyes shut? Well, now's my chance to prove it, huh?
What about homework?
Well, what about homework? I mean, you can read your lessons to me, and your mommy can check your spelling.
Sounds good to me.
And we'll help you too, Dad.
Oh, well, I sure appreciate that, but you don't have to worry about your old man. He can take care of himself.
No, me and Joey would like to help you. We'll read you the funnies and cut your meatloaf. All the stuff you can't do now.
Honey, that's incredibly sweet of you. And I know that Daddy is deeply touched.
Deeply, yep, deeply.
Joey, you have a present here for you, Daddy, don't you?
Here, Daddy. This is for you.
Present for me? It's not my birthday.
It's a clock. A special clock. When you want to know what time it is, you press a button and... 2:39 p.m. Do you want to try?
Sure.
2:39 p.m.
Well, that's really great. Now your daddy can know what time it is, even if he can't see the big hand and little hand, huh? Thank you, Joey. And you too, Kevin. And you be sure and thank your sister for me.
Well, guys, I hate to break up the party, but Uncle Larry said Daddy needs as much rest as he can get, okay?
Oh, Vicky, I can take them home.
That's all right, love. I think I'll drive them home. We haven't really had a chance to spend a lot of time together, okay?
Okay.
Give Daddy a kiss goodbye and let's go.
But we can come back soon, right?
Oh, you better come back soon. Don't you forget your homework.
Okay. Bye, Dad.
Bye.
I love you, Dad.
I love you, Joey. A bunch.
Sweetheart, I'm going to drive them home and I'll be right back then, okay? Let's go, guys.
Damn it!
I'm sorry.
Tina, what are you doing here? I thought everybody left.
Oh, well, I was gonna leave, but then
You what? You heard me cussing and carrying on, so you felt sorry for me, right? I don't need your sorries, Tina.
I just saw how much pain you were in, and I wanted to stay in case there was anything I could do.
Well, there isn't anything you can do. There isn't anything anybody can do, okay?
Clint, I feel so responsible. If you hadn't come to Monk's Hollow to tell me the good news, none of this would have happened.
You didn't pull the trigger. Jamie Sanders pulled the trigger.
But you wouldn't have been there, not for me, and you...
I know you're trying to help, Tina. But being sorry isn't going to help. I mean, hell, I'm sorry. Everybody's sorry. But being sorry isn't going to change anything.
But you were so positive with Kevin and Joey when you were explaining everything to them, and even when they said they were going to help you.
Come on, Tina. I had to put on a front for the boys. I couldn't let them know how I was feeling.
Okay, Clint.
I really don't want to talk anymore.
You know, it is okay. I mean, you're going to be a real father to them in every sense of the word. It's like you said to Kevin.
It's like I
and Joey.
said to you, I don't want to talk anymore. Do you mind getting the hell out of here? Do you mind getting the hell out of here?
I'm sorry.
Gramps, where have you been? It's not like you not to tell Payson where you're going.
Oh, I think Sanders Chemicals can get along without me for an hour, if not longer.
Are you okay?
I'm not sure. Why were you so anxious to see me?
Because Patrick just moved out a little while ago.
Now, that's what I call timing.
I thought you two had been becoming close in the last couple months.
We were quite close. I'm just now beginning to realize why it was so important to him.
Oh, you two had a fight, didn't you? Look, Grams, I know how difficult Patrick can get, but I sure hope he hasn't caused some sort of permanent rift between the two of you.
Nothing is permanent, Kate.